I'm not going to no more F1 games. Those French know make some good stuff. Yeah, those French know how to make stuff. Good stuff. Still can't use a green. Next time we're using a green screen, not using that thing. Okay. I am not drunk. Okay. As long as I finish a whole entire bottle of wine. Contains 40% natural juice. Made in Michigan. Made in Monson. Made in Manistee, Michigan. 4910742. So are you sure this stuff's the best stuff? That's some strong stuff. Are you put green screen over this wire here? I know. This is the real stuff. Drunk like a skunk. You know what happened then? They only happened one time. Oh yeah, right. That's two. That's right. That's two. That's true. So yeah. First things first. Can't wait for tomorrow. Get rid of that jerk. I don't drink that crap. It's poison, you idiot. Whoever drinks Rage is...
Well. Any last words? Y'all are in my parking spot?
Rage Red. That stuff's gross. Rage Red is gross. It's just an old day, guys. Just relaxing, killing time. Tomorrow, gonna be busy tomorrow. I don't think I'll have no videos up tomorrow because of how busy I'm gonna be. I'm sorry in advance. I'm gonna be so busy all the time to make a video maybe tomorrow. I'll be home late maybe tomorrow. So yeah, that's how bad it is. So yeah. I ain't no shit. Yeah, Chip. Yeah. I go. We're not so scary if you see us in the daylight. Good enough. Let's try to make it right. Don't wanna start a fight. And we're so sorry if we give you a little fright. We're not so scary if you see us in the daylight. As long as you survive the night. Hey there. How you doing? Nice to meet you when you're in town. I see you. Yeah, I could give a tour, Mom. You went through without the doors. No safety there. Who would wanna leave? It's a fantastical paradise. And you want make believe. Uncle remember have a family from just now. Let me take you by the hand. As I spy with my robotic eyes. Think I see a little flesh inside the new guy. Maybe he's everything that he seems. Time to investigate what's underneath the seams. Let's try to make it right. Don't want to start a fight. We're so sorry if we give you a little fright. We're not so scary if you see us in the daylight. Happy is as long as you survive the night. Try to make it right. Don't want to start a fight. And you're so happy if I give you a little fright. We're not so scary if you see us in the daylight. You'll be so happy just as long as you survive the night. If you survive the night, will take you away. Orange. Mansions in my brain. If someone messes with the main brain, we don't trust you. We do. We love you too. Here at Freddy's, we have a few rules, and I don't want you to break them because you will have to be replaced. But my friend JHK told me that there's a new company that came out recently that I should see, which I will be seeing in a bit after I see this new song I just got. And not what else he said. So I'm gonna listen to this from JHK sent me. Yeah, I said two. Ooh. Hello, Lovey. Tyler, you need to see this video. It will save your ass. So this is what JHK sent me real quick. He sent me this morning. I was a little busy doing some stuff I can't really say. It's private. But I want to see what this loving thing is.
Alright guys, so I just got back from Washington, D.C. literally like 5 minutes ago. It's currently like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I spent the day talking to Commissioner Phillips and Commissioner Wilson with a few other people at the FTC that works on COPPA and the implementation of it. And I've got a list here of pretty much all of the, internet's, YouTube's biggest questions regarding the law, what's going to happen, your biggest fears, and we're going to go over all of that because I have a lot of good news. I have a little bit of bad news, but I have a lot of good news that a lot of you guys are really enjoying listening to. So before we just hop into this, I do want to say that ultimately I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice. I have to say that for legal protections. I'm not or can't tell you what to do. What I can tell you is what they told me and let you make a decision based on that info, okay? So everything I'm about to tell you is not my opinion or anything like that. If I do share my opinion, I will straight up, make sure you guys are aware it's my opinion. But everything I'm about to say is just what they told me. Pretty much point blank, okay? So let's get into this. Alright, so we kind of talked about fines in the last video where I called someone from the FTC and talked to them, but let's get into it again real quick. First off, the FTC wanted to nail home the fact that they are not going to bankrupt creators, okay? It's not going to happen. They're not going to be fining people $42,000 per video. Even in YouTube's case where they were violating COPPA left and right, they weren't fined $42,000 per violation. It was, like $170 million is a lot, but, to YouTube, that's not really a lot. So they're not going to be bankrupting creators. They're going to take into effect how much money you make,
which is nothing.
How much of a hit can your business take and, still keep you in business and a lot of other
factors.
So if you're worried about a fine bankrupting you or you're going to lose your house or your family or anything like that, don't worry about that. That's not going to happen. There's actually an amendment, and I'm not sure if this is what they're specifically talking about, but they specifically mentioned that they can't do, unruly punishments. So, the punishment has to fit the crime, so they can't, fine you $100 million if you make $2,000 a year. Obviously, that's just
not nothing a year.
Also, excuse everything right now. I'm literally a mess. I've been walking around for 16 hours. I've been up for over 24 hours right now, so I'm probably a babbling buffoon right now, but excuse that. No, on this, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a lawyer, but I did bring up, that it's going to be very hard to find someone if they're not in the U.S. just because, the FTC doesn't, they can't just find someone from India because they don't have the legal jurisdiction there because, that citizen is not an American citizen. FTC is an American company, but agency, and they're just gonna have a hard time finding someone from countries. They are from different countries. They're aware of that. Now they also wanted to nail home the fact that they're not after edge cases. They specifically told me to go and take a look at their previous cases.
I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm staying until they eat me off. If I'm lucky, they're gonna eat me off. I hope they'll eat me off.
All right, and all of those cases are clear cut and dry. These guys were severely violating COPPA. They were severely violating the law. They have not went after any cases where it's like, well, maybe they are, maybe they're not. They're not interested in edge cases. They nailed this home a lot. So I want to seriously, talk about this here and make sure you guys understand that they are not going going after the maybe not cases. They're going after the clear cut, like, yeah, this guy is making nursery rhyme videos, and it's all nursery rhyme videos for kids. Obviously, that's for kids, like clear cut violations of the law. And you can go and look at the previous violations of the previous fines that the FTC has given out, and they're all very clear fines, and they're all against really big companies too. There hasn't been any specific content creators or anything like that. And I also want to take a moment real quick to just kind of talk about how the process works. So there's not a guy at the FTC just going and, ping-ponging videos left and right. Oh, this guy's lying, this guy's lying, this guy. It doesn't work like that. So basically, in order to start an investigation, 3 of the 5 commissioners have to agree to start an investigation, and then there's an entire process where they get into contact with the creator or the company or whatever, exchange information.
Does that mean it's legal now?
At that point, they have to
pause this, I'm going to hold 2 fingers up, right? If you do this, is that legal?
Basically, what I'm saying is,
or is it not legal?
Long and complicated process. They don't just send out fines. They can't do that. There's a lot of voting that goes on. It's a very long, complicated process. I don't know the entire process. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but it's a very long and complicated process.
They're doing that.
They can't, they're not just going to be sending out, fines left and right. It's not going to happen. From my understanding, I don't think there's going to be anyone, just sitting there like looking. I think it's going to be a situation where, just like in the previous cases, someone reported a violator to the FTC, or the FTC became aware of a COPPA violator, and then they went after him. It's not like they're constantly
I don't give a fuck
which creator can we get today? I'm going to get this one, or maybe we can get this one. Let's keep an eye on this guy. We could probably get. They're not going to do that. That's not how they operate. So that in by itself should make a lot of people calm you down a little bit. Okay, they don't have 50,000 snipers looking out for you.
This is legal.
This
is legal.
No, I kind of talked about this.
This is legal.
The FTC
So it's legal. This is legal
because they are aware that
this is actually legal.
A lot of different
I can do this and I get over it.
cases. Like, for example, I brought up bronies. Commissioner Phillips is very much aware of bronies. I'm not saying he is a brony. I don't think he is a brony.
What is that?
But he's aware that there are male older dudes that do like and watch My Little Pony. He is aware of that. The FTC is aware of that. And they're aware that there's a lot of situations where maybe it's an older person and they want to go back and watch their favorite cartoons when they were a kid for nostalgia's sake. They mentioned that. They're aware that is a thing. People like going back even as adults and watching kid cartoons. I watch SpongeBob time to time. On the topic of songs, because I know there's a specific thing in that little FTC survey that said music altogether. If it's not like
BF, buddy fight.
Tremfya helps
BF
adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis
for
uncover
me.
clear skin that can last. In fact, Tremfya was
buddy fight.
Again,
child-directed
music, like Dora the Explorer. If you were doing a Dora the Explorer cover, that's probably child-directed. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but that's probably child-directed music. If you make a Dora the Explorer cover song, if you're covering, I don't know, like Skillet or something, it's probably not going to be a child-directed song. So hopefully that answers that question. Another thing is animation can be for adults too. They are aware of that. Again, context matters. This is a big thing. The context
Pokemon,
of the video matters. You can have a Dora the Explorer parody that is for adults, and you can have a Dora the Explorer parody that is for kids. It's the context of the video that matters, right? Another thing I discussed is video game ratings. They don't specifically matter. Obviously, if you're playing like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, it's not a game directed to children. It's just not, obviously. But video game ratings in itself isn't going to save you. So, like, for example, if Fortnite's rated, age 13 and up, that's not necessarily meaning that, a Fortnite video can't be appealing to kids just because it uses Fortnite, which is a game 13 and up. A little bit confusing, but again, the context matters. So if you're doing like a nursery rhyme in Fortnite, even though it uses Fortnite, which is 13 and up, it's still going to be, you're targeting kids with that. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but obviously, nursery rhymes kids, I feel like that's a pretty safe
Who's
bet
after that?
to make there. They're also aware that Minecraft and Roblox is a general audience and that kids play it, but also a lot of adults play it as well. We'll get more into the general audience thing in a bit because there's a lot to talk about with that. Another thing I've seen a lot of content creators talk about is the fact that you have to be 13 or older to make a YouTube account. Why does this not count as an age gate? It does, but, and this is the thing I didn't realize, is that YouTube is still collecting data on people that aren't logged in. So if you're not logged in on YouTube, they're still collecting data. They're still collecting what videos you watch. They're still collecting how long you watched the video. They're still collecting if you clicked on an ad in the video or if you clicked on like the like button. So they're still cataloging all that data and information, even though you're not logged in, which is the problem because you know, it could be an 8-year-old not logged in watching all these videos, still cataloging the data. So it's not so much the issue that, you know, you have to be 13 in order to make an account. It's just that YouTube is collecting data on people even if they don't have an account. We also talked in great detail about the fact that, you know, content creators don't have access to normal website demographics. Like, we don't know who is watching our videos, right? So like, if my video gets 100,000 views and 5,000 comments, that's only 5% of my audience that's commenting. 95% of my audience wouldn't even be commenting. I would have no interaction with them whatsoever. So there's no way for me to tell, you know, ultimately, like, hard data, how old they are or anything like that. They're aware of that now. We talked through that, and they are aware that we do not have hard analytical data as to the age of our audience. They did say that we can use the YouTube analytics that they give us on, you know, like whenever someone makes an account, they can say the age. That does count for something. That's not the end-all, be-all, but that is a great tool for us to use in determining the age of people that watch our videos. That was said. In terms of delaying COPPA, it is COPPA, by the way. It is COPPA. But delaying COPPA, it's not really possible because the federal judge signed off on it. It's on the settlement, and they can't change the settlement. Like, the settlement is done. It's signed, sealed, delivered, right? So changing the date just isn't, it's not really going to happen. Now, another thing I wanted to talk on real quick is revising COPPA. So this is a very long process, but basically what they're going to do is they're going to go through each and every one of those 170,000 comments. They're going to go through that. They have to go through that, and they said it's going to take a few months to go through that. Once they go through that, they're going to all come together. And they have to do this as part of the FTC's, you know, regulation process and how they function. They come together, they read all of our comments, and they're like, how can we change the rule, you know, like the law here, the rule, whatever, to better fit what everybody is saying here. And they wanted to say that they have changed laws in the past because of what people have said and left in comment sections. So this is no different. So they're going to come together, read all the comments. It's going to take a few months, and then they're going to propose new rules on how to fix this. And then we can then again leave comments on it. So a few months from now, they'll put the comment box back up with, you know, rule changes, proposed rule changes, and then we can leave our comment on that. Is this good? Is that not good? Should we do something else? And it's kind of like an ongoing process where we work with them back and forth.
They're going bowling. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Like something fair in the middle that isn't harmful to everyone and kind of benefits everyone. Like, everyone's happy with it, right? Speaking of leaving a comment, today's the last day, so if you want to leave one, I'll have a link in the description. Now, let's talk about mixed audiences. I did ask them about that. And basically what they said is it's on YouTube. So first off, I want to clear up something. A lot of content creators, I've seen a lot of videos, because whenever, let me back up a little bit. Whenever you upload a video on YouTube, you have to choose either for kids or not for kids. There's no mixed audience option in there. And a lot of creators have been saying that if it is a mixed audience, just choose not for kids. And that's technically not how the law works, because technically mixed audience is a subset of for kids. So choosing not for kids with a mixed audience technically is not how the law works. And this brings me into the YouTube situation. So they cannot, like, they can suggest stuff to YouTube, but ultimately what YouTube does is up to YouTube. The systems that they put in place is up to YouTube. They said YouTube has a variety of options on how they can solve this problem, on how they can, fix the COPPA issue, and they chose this way. And if this way is not working for us, then we need to tell them. And at this point,
I'm making more kids
that's
videos.
kind of where it seems like we are.
I'm only
YouTube
cussing, but
is not
dude,
being
the
transparent
fucking
with us. I
done.
know, big surprise, right? YouTube's not being transparent. But here's what I want. Now,
Fucking
this
jerks.
worked with the FTC. I want to see if it works with YouTube.
I'm also on
I don't
Facebook
care
now, too,
who
I
it is
think.
at YouTube, but somebody at
Facebook.
YouTube, whether it's Susan or somebody, I want to talk to you. Somebody that made the system, all right? Somebody that came up with the system that is YouTube. I want to talk to you. Let's chat.
Best part, when I was on my
Let's
phone, I
talk.
do this
I
crap.
know you guys will see this video, so let's talk and chat. Whoever it is that came up with the system, because the FTC agrees with us. The system that you guys have in place is not the best when it comes to benefiting creators. And you know what? We may be wrong. Maybe it is. Maybe you guys know something we don't know. But we don't know because you guys haven't said anything. The only thing YouTube has said is, your audience best. Get a lawyer, right? And that's...
I worked for a lawyer.
Really great advice.
It does not
YouTube,
work.
if you could be a little bit more transparent, if
Maybe
we
work for a
talk
lawyer
about
again.
this, that would be
Who knows?
great. All right, so you guys have all my information. Just contact me, whether it's Susan or somebody, just somebody that made this system, because ultimately, as far as from the information I have, the system is not that great when it comes to COPPA and benefiting creators. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't know because you guys haven't told me. So feel free, YouTube, if I'm wrong, please tell me. So that's kind of where we're at with general audiences and mixed audiences. It's all on YouTube. We don't know how YouTube is handling mixed audiences because obviously the majority of stuff on YouTube is mixed audiences. We don't know how they're handling that because they haven't told us. Right now we have 4 kids or not for kids. I don't know.
Anymore. So
The FTC doesn't know. Everybody I've talked to don't know. So again, this is on YouTube. We need a little bit more transparency. We need to know, why did you guys make the system? Why is there not a mixed option? Is there a reason there's not a mixed option? Is there something I'm missing here? As far as mixed audiences and general audience goes, that's on YouTube. Complain to the FTC on that because they don't have anything to do with YouTube systems. That's on YouTube. So as far as the mixed audience and the general audience thing goes, that's on YouTube, and that includes education channels too. So like education channels that are like fractions, for example. I know a lot of adults that want to touch up on their fractions. Obviously, a lot of kids learn about fractions, and that stuff would definitely classify as a mixed audience. You'd have older kids, teenagers watching it, but also younger kids, and that would definitely classify as a mixed audience. But how do you rank that? How does that work with education stuff?
Shit, who knows?
All right, we've got a real animal lover here. Betting starts at $1 for a click. $1 do I hear? $1.50? Do I? Sold.
For an idiot.
Don't know because again,
Named Mark
YouTube
Rover.
has not told us. So YouTube, let's talk. And it's basically, I do want to say that Commissioner Phillips and Wilson were great. I know there's this giant sentiment. Even I had it. The government's all these people are out to get these content creators, take them down. We don't like YouTube. That's not the vibe I got at all. Commissioner Phillips was, he was great. He's a pretty funny dude. Really tall too. I look like his son. Like bring your son to work day or whatever. But I mean, yeah, he seemed like a cool dude. He even is aware that we have a member badge, a member emoji of him in our chat. So if you're a member, you can even type his face, and he's aware of that, and he was cool with that. So yeah, pretty cool dude. He was very familiar with how YouTube works, with how the internet works. He knows what 4chan is. You know what bronies work. If you know what bronies are, then you're up there in terms of internet. Yeah, you are familiar with it. And Commissioner Wilson shared the same concerns as a lot of us creators. So I can say that they are definitely 100% listening here. Now, I do want to point out the fact that it was easier for me to fly to Washington, D.C. to talk to the U.S. federal government and get an answer out of them than it was YouTube. So again, YouTube, please, let's just, whatever it is, we need to talk about this. Like, let's get a little transparent here, okay? And that's kind of where I'm going to leave off on this. yeah, I think at this point, YouTube they're not being transparent. And we need to be transparent. So that's what I've got. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below, and I'll try my best to answer them. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but I can't say I'm very confident in choosing an option for for my channel now. 4K stuff for kids. So yeah,
I really don't give a F.
Share this video so a lot of other creators can see it. Like, comment, all that stuff, because it's a lot of very important information. A lot of people have questions about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go to sleep now. I've been up for like 26 hours.
I've been up for 40 hours.
Bye.
We're staying on, guys. Okay, we're not going anywhere. We're staying on. Trifaka? What's Trifaka?
First FDA-approved medication of its kind, Tremfya, can help.
I don't need Trifaka. I'm an idiot. Learn about 2.0.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah. Good luck, man. I mean, come on. They can't actually arrest me for not uploading. Like,
I don't know.
I'm trying to do 3 a week. I mean, I've averaged 2 a week. I thought that was pretty good. Okay, that's good. Yeah. I'll be fine. You have failed to upload more than 2 videos a week this entire year. Your Honor, my videos just take a lot of time.
This is like a year.
I sent you 24 hours in jail for an easy video, but
December last year, guys.
that way, the content's a little better. Consider it done. 24 hours in jail. Hey guys, super.
Ooh! Brenda and NEW. Ooh, we got something new to watch. She's watching now, guys. Now, give me a minute. Let me lock the chair back up. A new Bendy Dark Revival came out from Super Harbor Mike. So let's go see it. I have not seen this yet. I asked the notification like a minute ago. Oh, this chair doesn't lock properly. So let's see what Super Harbor Mike has to tell us. This is brand new. This came out just now. So that's convenient. He uploaded it a couple minutes ago. I was watching someone else right now. You can see. So yeah. So let's start now.
Got a suspicious package. We better call it in. I just wanted the real victims to get some sort of...
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video we take a look at the new gameplay trailer released by Joey Drew Studios for the upcoming follow-up to Bendy and the Ink
My Dark Revival!
and the Dark Revival.
My Dark Revival.
In a previous video, I reacted to this trailer and gave it a quick analysis. In the time since uploading that video, I have taken some time to comb over it in further detail and have made some interesting discoveries along the way. This following video will take a more structured and in-depth look at the trailer to see what we can really learn about this new Bendy title, which is now scheduled for a release in 2020. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into a full analysis of the trailer. Bendy and the Dark Revival, like its predecessor, is an episodic horror game. This means it releases in chapters rather than all at once. If then we work under the assumption that this trailer takes place exclusively within the first chapter, it gives us a good indication of the kind of environments we can expect to be exploring and where exactly central protagonist Audrey's adventure begins. Chapter 1 seems to take place in and around the animation department of Joey Drew Studios, a section of the studio we haven't previously explored. This does make sense, however, as in the original game, Henry skipped most of the animation department when he took a tumble at the end of the game's first chapter. We also know from the novel Dreams Come to Life that the studio is far bigger than the portion we explored in Bendy and the Ink Machine. Finally, if our theory that this cartoon version of the studio is one big simulation within the real Ink Machine is true, then it's possible it may be ever-changing anyway. Basically, there are many reasons why the studio we see here in this trailer doesn't align perfectly with the one Henry encountered on his own adventure.
Wow, I don't remember any of this.
So what areas will we explore exactly? Well, from this opening shot we see a sign directing the player to the animation wing known as Animation Alley, as well as an employee locker room. And not only that, an elevator can be seen at the top of this hall, and seems to be fitted with one of those pesky security locks that showed up in the original gameplay trailer. A mechanism that required a nifty electrical tool to unlock. I would wager one of the key objectives in the opening chapter of Dark Revival will task Audrey with finding said tool to unlock access to this elevator. After all, it does lead to the exit, although it's pretty obvious something will stand in her way of escape, perhaps the hulking beast we glimpse at the trailer's end. Later in the trailer we catch brief shots of an area full of picnic tables. Here a sign seems to read Little Devil Lounge, while another reads Daily Buffet. The observant among you may also spot a large cake atop the table.
Wally
Why
Frank's
is this
cake?
important?
Wally Frank's! That's why.
I wanted to tell this story so the world would know the truth.
Richard Jewell, rated R.
Wally Frank's. Talking about cake. Wally Frank's talking about cake. It's Wally Frank's.
While it may be nothing, remember back to this audio log from Wally Franks we listened to
Cake.
during Bendy Chapter 5.
I got to cleaning something officers around 2 a.m. last night. And what do you think I'm finding one of the chairs? A big freaking chocolate cake just sitting there, practically yelling my name.
So could this be the very same abandoned cake that Wally took a slice from? Or is this simply a portal-themed Easter egg for fans to discover, as we saw with the companion cube reference in the original game? It's far too early to tell, but this may be our first hint that the events of the first game heavily tie into this one in some way. You will also notice on the wall in this shot, we can see what appears to be a save station, the infamous clocking in boxes that adorned the studio in the previous game. So it seems our method of saving will remain unchanged.
Always on time.
With the environments touched on, let's turn our attention to the enemies on display in this trailer. We only catch a few glimpses of them, but these short shots give us a fair amount of information when analysed. The two enemy types shown off in this trailer are the return of the Lost Ones and this hulking brute here. Let's take a look at the Lost Ones first. In the original game, every Lost One had exactly the same appearance, to the point I often referred to them as clones. However, in Dark Revival, they are far more detailed, bearing both the qualities of male and female forms. You can see the subtle differences when we freeze and compare shots side by side. This could mean that these Lost Ones were born from the machine at a later point than the ones we encountered in the original game, meaning their forms were more refined. Or it may simply be that due to more resources, the team at Joey Drew Studios have worked to improve the look of the models in general. Perhaps it's a bit of both. However, it's the sounds these new and improved Lost Ones make that come as the real shock here. Check it out. They truly sound like lost souls now, wailing and screeching in misery and anguish. In the original game, the Lost Ones make very little sound at all, so it seems Dark Revival will really lean into the horror aspect far more than its predecessor. These sounds are really unsettling. Next up is the big one, quite literally. This gigantic ink creature seems to be a boss type of some sort, or at the very least, a highly dangerous and powerful regular enemy who will be able to deal and take far more damage than his searcher counterparts. From the way he roars and rears up in this introductory animation, it suggests this enemy will most likely charge the player and try to grab us with his massive hands. Perhaps we will have to dodge at the last minute, so he slams into the wall and dazes himself, allowing us a safe window of attack. This brute seems to be made up from not only ink, but also debris from around the studio. This suggests that it may have formed from one of the larger ink puddles around the studio, those which contained junk floating in them. This could mean that the very ink puddles themselves are no longer safe and can give birth to monstrosities such as this. We had seen hints of monsters rising from the ink during Bendy and the Ink Machine in the form of the giant searcher in Chapter 3 and of course the giant bendy hand in Chapter 5. This enemy seems to be an evolution of this concept.
What do we do when we're scared?
We close our eyes and we count to 5, 4, 3, 1.
The Grudge, rated R.
I was not in my mood to see this late night.
By now it seems pretty obvious that the Dark Revival is to centre around two female protagonists, Audrey and Alison Angel. Alison appeared in the very first trailer, Return to the Studio, where she had the following lines to say.
Don't be afraid. Don't let the darkness take you. You may walk with angels or cower before demons. But one thing always remains: the choices you make.
The next trailer featured the introduction of Audrey, who seemed confused to find herself awake in this cartoon world and horrified by her body transformation.
This feels wrong. What's happening to me?
Audrey and Alison then each received their own teasers on the official Bendy Twitter account, showing off their new models in Dark Revival, and now the two finally come together for the first time in this trailer. Visually, these new character models look
So where's Thomas
fantastic
at?
and animate
So where's
brilliantly,
Thomas?
but outside of the technical aspects, what can we learn about these two characters? Well, it's likely this shot of Audrey is from early on in the chapter, where she glimpses in horror at her new appearance for the very first time. The mirror she peers into is shattered. It seems she broke it in a fit of anger after laying eyes on her inky new look. In a previous video, I mentioned how the secret messages in Bendy and the Ink Machine may have been left by Audrey and not, as we had previously theorized, by Henry. This cracked mirror adds further evidence to that, as we find a broken mirror in Chapter 3 with the message, "Who am I?" scrawled across it. The connection seems to be there, so check out this one.
Back in a second, guys. I have to do something real quick. Who am I? Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm back now. I had to do a thing. And, I'm back. I can't wait for tomorrow because tomorrow I'm gonna be doing some tomorrow with some fun. I might be doing a video tomorrow. Who knows? Let's finish this up
Video,
then.
if
We'll
you would
talk.
like a full explanation on this theory, I'll leave a link at the end of this one. In the first shot, you will notice that Audrey doesn't have the glowing symbol on her hand, as seen here in this render, and also here later in the very same trailer. You may have noticed this symbol didn't appear in the original trailer either. So the question is, why not? For an answer to that question, we need to jump ahead to this sequence near the trailer's conclusion. Here we see a beating heart, a heart I originally thought on first glance was suspended inside a shaft within the ink machine itself. I jumped on the idea that this may be the heart at the center of the ink machine, that the ink machine was somehow becoming an organic, living entity of its own, one we must destroy to set everyone free. While interesting as a concept, on closer inspection, it seems this analysis is incorrect. You can see the outline of a thin arm holding this heart, and it does seem to be Audrey's arm. So with this in mind, we can conclude Audrey has the ability to tear hearts from certain enemies, or perhaps simply find them lying around on corpses, much like Henry did during his fetch quest for Alice in Chapter 3. Alice Angel told us that hearts were required to make her perfect, and it does seem as though Audrey may be another in the long line of Alice clones. While Allison came after Susie Campbell's original disfigured version of Alice, Audrey seems to have succeeded her and is the most powerful and human version yet, although her lack of horns is peculiar and should be noted. The point is that, like Alice, it seems Audrey can make the choice to consume beating hearts in order to gain more power and become perfect. This may be how she is granted the power in her arm, and by consuming hearts, the symbol begins to glow. Perhaps the more hearts we collect, the more of the symbol shows up, kind of like a power meter. This hand can then be used, as shown in this trailer, to blast back enemies with a force-like ability. It may be that we can unlock a range of powers as we progress through the game. What is really interesting is the idea of good versus evil here, of light versus dark. It could be that by eating these hearts, Audrey grows stronger and more powerful, but also is consumed by the inky darkness, much like Susie's version of Alice was in the original game. This may mean we can forge our own destiny in Dark Revival, either choosing to play the game without the aid of hearts and that all-powerful arm, but retaining Audrey's humanity, or consuming everything to become a strong force of darkness. It seems Allison is helping us to stay on the path of light, or at least that's her hope. So the story of Bendy and Dark Revival is taking shape now. Allison comes across
where's Thomas
Audrey,
at?
a character freshly born into this cartoon world, and attempts to mentor her as they try to discover a way to escape, all the while avoiding the demon Bendy and the allure of the dark puddles, calling out with great yet evil power if we choose to accept it. And that's it for today's video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy watching, and maybe drop a comment too, as well as subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you never miss an upload. This channel specializes in variety horror content, including creepypasta readings, horror gaming facts and theories, and general interest pop culture horror videos. So, if you're interested in all things spooky, you'll find something to enjoy here at Super Horror Bro. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
Okay, it was interesting. Okay, we're almost done, guys, today. Then I'm going to go to bed. I just still going to go to bed.
Mary, is that a police? I'm calling the weed!
What the fuck's this?
What you smoke?
I don't know what that was. I don't want to know what that was. I don't know what that is. So I'm not...
Who are you?
So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So 1220 equals nothing. The cool things to go to bed. I've seen one. Thanks for watching.